Imagine a tale where the darkness of the unknown reaches a whole new level of terror, perfect for a YouTube audience that craves a story with twists so sharp they cut through the fabric of reality itself. The tale begins in the seemingly idyllic days of my high school life, a period brimming with friendships and unforgettable experiences. Amidst this backdrop of adolescent joy, a chilling event unfolded, casting a long, ominous shadow over everything good. My best friend, Alex, and I shared a bond forged in the fires of childhood whimsy and solidified through years of shared adventures. Our connection was deep, unwavering, and filled with countless memories. One of our favorite pastimes was exploring the dense forests that bordered our town, a hobby that led us to countless discoveries and adventures. However, our thirst for adventure turned to horror during the summer before our junior year. Alex proposed we explore an area known only in hushed tones and whispered rumors, Raven's Hollow, an abandoned asylum nestled deep within the woods. This place, shrouded in dark tales and unexplained disappearances, was a stark departure from our usual haunts. Despite my initial reservations, I was swayed by Alex's excitement and the promise of an unforgettable adventure. Our journey to Raven's Hollow was fraught with an eerie calm, a silence that seemed to suffocate the woods themselves. As we ventured deeper into the forest, the paths twisted and turned, leading us into the heart of darkness. Upon our arrival, the sight of the dilapidated asylum sent shivers down my spine, its imposing structure a stark reminder of the horrors that lay within. Undeterred, Alex led the way, his curiosity overshadowing the screaming instincts telling us to flee. Inside, the asylum was a maze of decaying corridors and abandoned rooms, each telling the silent stories of those who once roamed its halls. It wasn't long before we stumbled upon a room unlike any other, its walls covered in frantic scribbles and chilling messages left by former patients, or perhaps their captors. As nightfall approached, a sense of unease grew within us, a feeling that we were not alone in Raven's Hollow. The darkness seemed alive, moving and whispering in the corners of our eyes. Then, the unthinkable happened. Alex vanished before me, swallowed by the shadows in the blink of an eye, leaving behind only his echoing scream. Panic set in as I frantically searched for him, my calls met with only the mocking silence of the asylum. It was then that I realized the true horror of Raven's Hollow. It was a place that hungered for the lost and the curious, a predator cloaked in the guise of an abandoned asylum. The night turned into a blur of terror and confusion as I navigated the labyrinthine corridors, chased by the unseen and the unknown. The climax of my escape was a confrontation not with a monster, but with the realization that Raven's Hollow itself was the entity, a malevolent force that fed on fear and despair. By some miracle, I emerged from the asylum, forever changed by the ordeal. The search for Alex continued for days, but no trace of him was ever found. The official story was a tragic accident, a young life lost to the folly of trespassing in dangerous places. But I knew the truth. Raven's Hollow had claimed him, a reminder of the price of our curiosity. In the aftermath, I struggled with the weight of what had happened, haunted by guilt and the memories of that fateful night. The tale of Raven's Hollow became a cautionary story, a chilling testament to the darkness that lurks just beyond the veil of our understanding, waiting for the next unwary soul to wander into its grasp. For in the heart of Raven's Hollow, fear reigns supreme, and the price of curiosity is often far too high. After Jason's disappearance, my life took a turn for the surreal. The town whispered about the cursed woods of Tillsville, and I became an outcast, the boy who returned without his best friend. But the story doesn't end with Jason's vanishing. No, that was just the beginning. Months after the incident, I started receiving unmarked letters at my new address, states away from where everything happened. The first letter was simple, chilling to the bone. A picture of Jason and me at the entrance of the mine, the day he disappeared, with "Come back" scrawled in a jagged handwriting at the bottom. The photo had been taken without our knowledge, a silent observer to our ill-fated adventure. The police couldn't trace the letters. Each one became progressively more disturbing, containing details about Tillsville and the mine that I never shared with anyone. How did the sender know? Was it guilt manifesting, or was someone or something luring me back? Driven by a mix of fear, guilt, and an insatiable need for answers, I decided to return to Tillsville. I planned meticulously, leaving clues and detailed plans with trusted individuals, ensuring that if I disappeared, there would be a trail to follow. Armed with more than just flashlights this time, I entered the woods surrounding Tillsville, a palpable dread settling over me. The village was just as we left it, abandoned, the silence a heavy blanket. But this time, I wasn't here for the village. I was here for the mine, the heart of my nightmares. As I approached the mine's entrance, a voice echoed from the trees, seeking answers or seeking end. I spun around, but no one was there. Shaken, I pressed on, the darkness of the mine swallowing me whole. The mine felt alive, breathing and watching. I made my way to where Jason and I had parted ways with reality. A new path, previously unseen, beckoned me deeper. It was as if the mine had rearranged itself, a labyrinth designed to confuse and confine. Whispers filled the air, voices of miners long past, recounting tales of sorrow and rage. Their stories painted a picture of a mine cursed long before it was shut down, a site of ancient rituals and sacrifices, its wealth built on a bedrock of despair and darkness. In the heart of the mine, I found a chamber, its walls lined with crude drawings that told the history of Tillsville and its dark secret. The drawings depicted entities, not of this world, summoned for protection and prosperity, but at a grave cost. Jason's face was among the drawings, his eyes hollow, a part of the mine's morbid tapestry. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. Jason hadn't been taken by human hands. He had been claimed by the mine, a sacrifice to appease whatever ancient forces dwelled within. And now, I was being offered as the next tribute. Panic set in. I ran, the mine seeming to shift and change with every turn. Just when hope was fading, the entrance appeared before me, a sliver of light in the consuming darkness. I emerged into the night, gasping for air, the mine's entrance collapsing behind me, as if sealing itself shut. I shared my story, but it was met with skepticism and disbelief. Tillsville was bulldozed, the mine's entrance buried under tons of earth, but the letters didn't stop. They became more desperate, pleading for me to return, to free the souls trapped within. But how could I return to a place that no longer existed in our world? The story of Jason's disappearance and my return to Tillsville became a cautionary tale, a legend whispered in the shadows. People started to avoid the woods, fearing what lay beneath. As for me, I'm left with unanswerable questions and a life haunted by what I experienced. I know now that some places hold secrets too dark to be uncovered, and some friendships, though lost, can never be forgotten. This twisted tale of friendship, loss, and the supernatural explores the depths of human emotion and the dark corners of the unknown. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous adventures are those that take us not just into the heart of darkness, but into the realm of the inexplicable. As the months passed, the letters eventually ceased, and the whispers of Tillsville faded into obscurity. relegated to the realm of online forums and ghost story compilations. Life, with its relentless pace, forced me to move forward, burying the memories and the pain deep within. But the story wasn't over. Years later, while attending a conference in a city far from the echoes of my past, I encountered a figure that seemed hauntingly familiar. It was in a crowded hallway, a momentary glimpse of someone who shouldn't exist. Jason. He was older, his face worn, but unmistakably his. Our eyes met, and for a second, time stood still. Then, he was gone, swallowed by the crowd. I spent the rest of the day searching the conference halls, asking attendees if they'd seen someone matching his description, but it was as if he'd vanished into thin air. Had my mind played a cruel trick on me, or had I really seen my best friend alive after all these years? Determined to find answers, I returned to my hotel room and did something I hadn't done in a long time. I pulled out the old letters. Sifting through them, I noticed a detail I had overlooked before: a seal on the back of each envelope. A small, intricate design that resembled the symbols I had seen in the chamber within the mine. With a renewed sense of purpose, I delved into researching the symbol, tracing it to an obscure cult with beliefs rooted in the supernatural, one that spoke of gateways between worlds and the resurrection of lost souls. It was said that this cult had once had a stronghold in an area that, after cross-referencing historical maps, aligned with the woods surrounding Tillsville. The realization was staggering. Had Jason become entangled with this cult, or worse, become a part of their rituals? Was his appearance a sign, a call back to the mine to complete what was started? Armed with this new information, I decided to confront the past head-on. I returned to the now overgrown site of Tillsville, guided not just by a need for closure, but by a desire to understand the forces that had torn my life apart. The woods were silent, the ruins of Tillsville nothing more than memories and dust. But as I approached the area where the mine once stood, the ground beneath my feet gave way, revealing a hidden entrance, as if the mine refused to be forgotten. Inside, the mine was alive, not with the malevolence I remembered, but with a palpable sense of waiting. Deep within its recesses, I found a chamber, untouched by time, with two chairs facing each other. On one sat Jason, looking exactly as I had seen him at the conference, his eyes filled with an unspeakable knowledge. "Why?" was all I could manage, my voice a mere whisper. Jason's response was calm, measured. "To show you the truth, that death is not an end, but a beginning. Our journey into the mine, my disappearance, it was all part of a greater plan." He spoke of realms beyond our understanding, of a balance between worlds that had to be maintained. His sacrifice had been necessary, a part of an ancient pact that kept darker forces at bay. But now he had been allowed to return, to share this knowledge, to warn of the thinning barriers between worlds. The cult, it turned out, had been protectors, not perpetrators. They had chosen us, not for sacrifice, but for enlightenment. Jason's disappearance had been a rite of passage, one that had now come full circle. As we emerged from the mine, the sun rising on a new day, I realized the twisted end was not an end at all, but a beginning. Our story, a testament to the unseen forces that shape our lives, would continue to be told, a cautionary tale of curiosity, loss, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. Jason's return was a gift, a chance to rewrite our story, not as a tragedy, but as a beacon of hope for those who dare to explore the unknown, to question the boundaries of reality, and to understand that sometimes the most profound truths lie hidden in the shadows, waiting to be discovered. Thank you for listening to my channel.